Hello everyone and welcome to Frostpunk, a city builder game with a slight twist. It's all very snowy, it's very cold, it's very bleak, and we have to survive. We're going to have to make some pretty tough decisions in order to be able to do that. We've got to keep everyone alive while still enacting some tough laws, but not letting people lose too much hope and causing a general revolt. A new home. And this is going to be a tough one. I do like city builders. I love these kind of games. But I like the games where you have to make these kind of tough choices and make these tough decisions which may or may not be for the greater good. And it's a really interesting concept to have these games where you have to rely on certain things.
Still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
Here we go. Time to fire up the generators. This will be the new series, replacing Papers, Please. And boy, am I looking forward to this one. A new home. We fled from London across the sea to reach the frozen north. On our way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should now expect the worst. The world we know has crumbled. Which begs the question, why are we heading north if we have an issue with coal? I mean, presumably everywhere has coal, but presumably if we headed slightly more south, that might be a bit better, but, you know, who knows. And here we go, we arrive with a very haphazard very haphazard conditions. Find the coal, we need to get the generator working, provides heat and power to other buildings, stockpile some coal and start the generator. We need to find some coal. That's a coal pile. Let's put some of our workers on this. They should go get some coal for us, thankfully. But it is a bit of a trek out there, but they're going to make the tough trip to do so. Wood crates. I'm seeing if there's any coal nearby. It doesn't look like there is. In the meantime, we probably want to turn the generator on as soon as possible. Well, obviously we only have so much coal to work with. As the less coal we have, the less we'll be able to keep this on. Right now it's minus 20 degrees Celsius, but I'm sure it's going to get much colder as time goes on. I want to build some shelters for people to live in, so they can actually stay living for as long as possible. We also need to send people some out to the wood crates, because we're gonna need wood permanently, pretty much, to build things, I'd imagine. We do also have some engineers which we could use. I'm going to send some more people out to this wood area as well. And because, you know, really we need all the resources we can get. We can see these guys trudging out to their trudging out to the coal. But we're going while it's daytime, and they've got some torches with them. And they should have some nice places to come back to at the end of the day, I hope. Next, we probably need to start thinking about stuff like food. We need a cookhouse. We probably need a hunter's hut. That's probably the next port of call. Probably more so than the station for healing at the moment. How are we doing on wood? Only 30 at the moment. I'd like to probably get some more. I don't know if we particularly need steel at the moment, however, so I don't know if that's really a priority. I'll send out some more. Well, I'll send out some. Actually, I'd probably rather not send out the engineers. I'll just send out 5 workers for the time being, just so they get a bit more wood. We've got enough coal to last us about 11 hours at the moment. In fact, I'm going to bring these guys back. I realise that's a bit of a mistake to send them out and send them back. However, I think what we want to probably do is build a hunter's hut so we can get some food, because we're only going to have food for so much longer. The sooner we have food, the better, I would say. We've got raw food. We need to probably turn that into rations pretty soon as well. But I'm going to get the hunting post started, I think. And we're going to go into the Book of Laws. Now this is where things get tough. This is where we have to make some really tough decisions. Find ways to battle hunger, sickness and apathy. So we have to adapt. We could, you know, create a fighting arena. You know, it means that it will reduce discontent, but we might have some injuries, and it might cause people to be a little grumpy. Or we have emergency shift where people have to work through the night, but that will raise discontent slightly. Or we can introduce child labour or child shelters. Now this is the one probably which we're going to implement first. We could do child shelters. That would give people a more permanent hope bonus, you know, continuously going forward. However, unfortunately, although hope will still fall slightly and children might be working accident, I'm going to put child labour only safe jobs, so they can work in cookhouses and hothouses. There's nothing wrong with a child making soup, but I think we need the helping hand. That's a controversial law. Kids should be learning, not working. I know, but in order to survive, we need to have the children working as well. It's the simple truth of the matter. And we'll get the cookhouse done over here. We have to try. There's literally no other option. We're not going to send them out to doing all the really tough jobs. We're not going to send them out here into the cold to die. But we will send them for other things, and I think that is important. Probably want more people going out for coal. We can send the children out, but that doesn't feel like a great idea, to be honest. Right now we're doing okay for coal. We're generating a bit of a surplus, but I think it will get a bit colder as time goes on. I want to probably reduce some of the wood gathering. Not a specific person. We're going to reduce the workers here down to none, and we're going to look for the moment. We'll send out the engineers there, okay? Well, we may have those are the specialised guys. We may have to replace them. We may have to replace them with other people as time goes on. We'll have to see. But for the most part, we'll do what we can there. But I want to put 15 workers in the hunter's hut because we need to be gathering food all the time. The children can work in the cookhouse. It's a relatively safe job. It should work in our favour. The cookhouse will provide 4 rations for each 2 raw food. It's closed this time of day. It will set up again in the morning. But we have just lowered hope, so we need to think about something where we can do a better. We need to think about a law which could work better going forward. There's another coal pile over there. I'd rather not send the children, but we may not have a choice. It is going to be a little bit of a dangerous job. I'm worried that we're going to eat through a lot of this coal during the night. No one's going to go during the night time though, which is fair enough. So for the time being, we will let the day pass and see what tomorrow brings. And the good thing is temperature doesn't seem to drop in the middle of the night, which you think it would, but I guess it's all at the same time. Okay, we've got something here. Aha. Okay, that's fine, that's just the tutorial. I get the basic gist of how this works. Someone is sick. Lucy Newgate. She has a very low risk of falling ill. Currently she works gathering wooden crates. So probably the next thing we want to work on is a medical post with 5 beds. And then there it goes. We can get that under construction. And I think they do actually work on that during the night as well. So actually realistically, building things during the middle of the night might be the best option. That way we're maximising hours, so we're not taking people away from other things we're not taking people away from gathering during the middle of the day. That might be the best plan, but we'll just have to see. But it looks like everyone's getting up, and soon the day will start. We've got another 2 hours till we can adapt something new. I don't know if we could do child labour all jobs, but that feels like a terrible idea. That's going to really cause some issues. We could go down here for this law, but I don't think we can approve that just yet. What about this one? We could establish a burial ground so we can lay our dead to rest with dignity and respect. There will be no risk of disease from unburied bodies, but each burial will keep people from work for a few hours. Or we can go with corpse disposal, where hope and discontent will rise. I am happy to enact a cemetery so that people can pay respect to their dead, because that's not how, we're trying to still be human even at the cost of all the other things happening. I think we're okay to build a cemetery, and that would improve our hope slightly, which we desperately need at the moment. I can't imagine that's going to go well going forward. I imagine it's only going to drop as temperatures drop and people get more angry as time goes on. Okay, people are heading back out to work, which is excellent, and we're sending out 10 children, hopefully not to their deaths. But I do feel sorry for them. But we just don't have much coal. We can put 5 engineers in the medical post. Actually, we probably don't need 5 at the moment. I think there's only one person sick. So for the time being, we can probably we can put them all in there for now, but we might need to think about moving them elsewhere as time goes on. We can introduce a new law, and we will do that. I don't know how many of these laws there are. I imagine there's probably quite a few, but we will go for cemetery. It does mean that some people will be off work for a while, but that helps with hope, which is good. We also need to work on shelter for our citizens. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, as it should be. Absolutely. What do we need for a cemetery? I don't know if that's going to be under... It's going to be under people? Yes, it will. That's gonna be one cemetery in the city. It's not adjacent to a street. I don't know if we want to put the cemetery right in the middle, to be honest. For now, I just want to work on some more tents, I think. To give people as much... get as many people as we can in kind of secure housing, and warmth, I think, is the most important thing. We will need to build a street, if I can remember how to do that. Build street, there we go. There's a lot of resources down this way. So I think if we build a street down like that, that should work in our favour. Although we don't quite have enough wood at the moment. So maybe we'll leave that for a second until we get some more wood inside our kind of resource cache. Okay, I also need to think about tech, but we can't do that until we get a workshop out, I believe. This currently is takes 144 coal per day to stay operating, which is not ideal, but at least it works that way. Oh, this is such an atmospheric game. I love it. It's such a cool concept for a game. And the second one is released, so I'm playing this one with the intention of absolutely playing the second one when that comes out. So we can speed things up slightly just while they move around their business. Hopefully we'll get 200 coal today, and that should tell us what to do next. I think we want to work on a workshop next, and probably upgrading our heat. Okay, so we've got food rations for about 3 days, but we need to... It takes a long time for hunters to bring in more food. Let's slow down time. The generator hums with reassuring warmth, but we shouldn't take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserves. Now, food. As there will be no city if we starve to death, secure a way to provide raw food and build a cookhouse to prepare meals. One step ahead of you there, game. People from our convoy, with basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind. Build a beacon, scout Frostland, and save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. You'll need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. And we're getting some more modifiers, some kind of filling these main objectives. So the next thing we need to do is probably build a workshop, build a beacon. But I don't think there's any more space here. We will build a street. I think we do now have enough wood to do so. And I think we will follow this path down here so we get closer. There we go, build a street. And we'll go down to about there. It just means we'll be a bit quicker going forward as well, which is good. I'm actually going to cancel one of those because I think if we need to build a workshop, we're going to have to do it there. I think we do need a workshop to there we go, we'll put down a workshop there. That's important, I believe, in order to allow us to really get some more tech underway, and we do need tech. These guys will get 15 food a day, but they do take about 12 hours, and they only come back with about 4 raw food. It's not that much. There's still a lack of shelter, so we do need to definitely work on that. Okay, we've got a big technology tree here to work on. I think one of the first things we want to do is work on things which can get us more resources quicker. Potentially also just food. What does this do? This means, thanks to better snowshoes and enhanced camouflage, hunters setting out from the hunter's hut will return with more raw food from each hunt. I think that's an important thing, because we've only got one hunter's hut for the time being. That's important. It's inoperative because there's no employees available. Currently I think they're over here. So I'm going to reduce this down by 5. And I'll send them over here. And I'm going to put a max amount of people on there because I think that is important. We do have the street down, which is good. And we also want to increase the zone here as much as possible. We have a new law. We don't necessarily need to introduce a law, but it's worth thinking about, that's for sure. We can go for ceremonial funerals. Okay. Those who give their lives in the service to the city deserve the highest honour. We will give our dead ceremonial funerals to inspire their living. Loss of hope caused by death is halved. There doesn't seem to be a downside for that. Or we can go for the slightly more tough one of organ transplants. I think we're okay for food at the moment. We could add sawdust to make the meals more filling, although not exactly tasty or healthy. We could do the emergency shift, but that would cause problems with morale and discontent. But I think we're going to enact it anyway. It's not going to be it's not going to be a fun rule. People are not going to like it, and I don't intend to use it unless it becomes a necessity. But we're going to have to. We need that law ready for when the time comes. If we don't get that done, then we're going to be in a whole bunch of issues. Faster gathering, that's also important. That's probably another one we want to start as well. I don't know how long that's going to take. We'll have to see. Let's get to work. We can't let up now. Absolutely. That's probably one we want to start as well. But we also want to think about heating. We want to make sure the steam hub can generate further out. Although that does require some steel. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to try and work this out, really. We could try to build some housing. But if we build it on the second layer, it's not going to be in the warmth, which is the problem. I can't remember how we actually get more heating. I mean, I presume we just need to research it. Yeah, heat zone range level 2. It's going to be in heating somewhere. We just need to find out where. We could probably go for heaters next, to be honest. That might be a good plan. Now what's down here? This is a... Okay, that's an actual coal mine. That would get us coal a lot quicker. Which might be the better... Might be the better thing to do. Let's also build this cemetery for the dead. I don't know if there's going to be a negative... I don't know if there's going to be a negative effect for them being around here. We'll pop it down there. That will probably... We'll move it forwards just slightly so it's actually attached. We may as well keep it attached to the other area. That way people can have a place to respect their dead, and I think that is important. Work time, absolutely. We have Jane Arden, who's sick, but she can probably go and get herself... Biggest concern is sickness, but she can go get herself healed, that's not a problem. That's a cool way of doing things. Okay, the temperature there is livable, that's fine. So we probably can still do some more stuff with the streets going forward. That's probably not a problem there. I know that a lot of the issues at the moment is to do with housing, so what we'll do, we'll probably get ourselves another street down. not dismantle street. I want to build a new street. Obviously, it's going to be coming at a cost of wood. I think this one will go over here, like this, and I'm hoping that's going to help these guys out here because they'll be a little bit closer to the. If we do that, then it's probably going to increase the efficiency there. I think that's probably the best idea. Whether that is the best idea, I don't know, but we're going to give it a go nonetheless. It might just make it that little bit more efficient and easier for our guys gathering resources. Well, there's not going to be much resources left soon. We're going to have to find new piles. So we're going to have to think about... I mean, there are more wooden crates and stuff around. But soon we're going to have to start thinking about actual mines and stuff like that, I think. All our workers are currently doing something, so we can't change that. How's the research coming along? Only at 36% at the moment, so it does take quite a while for that to change. I think we also probably need to think about more raw food soon as well. In a couple of days, the temperature is going to drop significantly, which is not good. It's going to drop 2 levels, and we have some issues. People from our convoy, family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward when we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. We'll do what we can, but that's now a promise we've made, and we can't afford to lose that. Child labour. Child injured at work. A child got distracted at work and has been injured. The accident was not serious and happened entirely due to the child's carelessness. We can either scold this kid for being careless. I don't think that's entirely necessary. It's not going to help with any hope issues that we have. Or we can give this kid a day off. I think we can do that. Hope will rise slightly. I don't think he's doing anything that's so important. Yeah, he's working in the cookhouse. There's enough other people there at the moment to, we don't even have any food at the moment, so that's fine. I don't see that as a particular problem for the time being. At least in my opinion. I can't imagine how being this cold would be like. The cemetery is still waiting for workers. There's a lot of things under construction at the moment. That wood crate is going to go in a second. We do have some wood crates over here we can go to. Because this one is about done, as is this one over here. That is because we're also just grabbing a lot of things. And there we go, that's going to be the last wood. Wood crate's depleted. People are content at the moment, that's good. We've got some spare people to send. So send some people to those wood crates over there, 15 wood crates. There's a coal pile over there. I don't think we need wood as much going forward. What we'll do, we'll send 5 workers over there as well. Obviously wood is important, but not as important. We are going to be dealing with some significant temperature drops very, very soon indeed. And our tech is very, very slow. Takes about 7 hours. A couple of our engineers are in treatment, I see. That's going to slow things down slightly. We could probably think about getting a second... We could probably think about getting a second workshop down. Over here, let's say. We're out of steel, however. We do, I think, have a few spare engineers. We'll send them out to get some steel. They're not going to get much. In fact, let's stop that, because we can stop that, and we'll send them over here to get steel from here instead. Send the engineers out. One of our coal piles is depleted. I don't know which one that was. But there are... Okay, there's that one over there. But there are other coal piles around. We're going to send more people out to get coal. I want to build up a reserve before the big temperature drops happens. And it is going to happen pretty soon. We're nearly done with the faster gathering, which is good, but it also means we're going to run out of things quicker. Shift has ended. Interesting. I don't know if Workshop allows us to research 2 texts at once, or if it just researches it quicker. But I think that is important. And the weather changes are coming. We are going to have some issues when they comes in trying to deal with that kind of low temperature. Currently it's at 20 degrees. Soon it's going to get a lot worse. Oh dearie me, how are we going to deal with that? Yeah, we just need to start. We've got our basic tech up now. We just need to start thinking about actually fixing our problems. So we're going to take the engineers off that. We'll take 5 workers off coal. Just 5. And we'll put them on steel. Because I want the engineers to come in here to ensure that our tech moves a little bit quicker. And we're about to experience our first temperature drop pretty soon indeed. We can introduce a new law. I don't know if there's anything we need to necessarily introduce at the moment. I'd like to introduce that kind of apprenticeship thing, but probably not at the moment. We could do extended shift, but that would come at a sacrifice, and discontent would be a huge issue. Eating soup will cause discontent. We could do that. It would make food go a bit faster. What about medical treatment? Radical treatment will try everything to cure the gravely ill, from invasive surgery to amputations. 30% of the gravely ill treated in medical posts will be left as amputees, which means they're not going to be able to work as much, or we can go for sustained life. We can't cure the gravely ill, but we can at least keep them alive. We won't risk dangerous amputations with radical treatment. Kept alive but untreated. They will remain a burden, I see. Ceremonial funerals, I see no downside to signing that, so I'm going to do that. Each burial will involve a funeral ceremony held at the cemetery at 9 o'clock. Fancy burials? Who has time for that? But Edwards thinks that our dead ones deserve no less. Glad you think so, Edward. We're going to have 2 days to try deal with the tough conditions here. That's going to be interesting to try deal with. In the meantime, while we've got a bit of spare time, we're going to build some more tents for... Does everyone have a house? I think everyone might have a house by now. If we go to economy, workforce, status, efficiency... I want to see if... Is everyone... Yeah, everyone should be housed. 70 out of 80. We've got 10 homeless citizens. We're going to build one more. Therefore, everyone will be accounted for. And I think that's important. We'll build it over here, I think, on the back of that street. Hopefully it's still within a range, although as the temperatures drop it's going to get a lot worse. They might end up needing to sleep by the coal generator instead, because that is going to be our lifeline. And it's going to take more consumption pretty soon. When overdrive is on, the temperature in all heat zones rises by 1 level, but generator stress rises as well. Ooh. Let's hope we can manage this. We need to build a beacon, and we need to rescue some lost survivors, that's for sure. There's a lot of things still need to be built. I don't know what happened to our cemetery area, but it looks like it didn't make it. We'll ensure new ones put down there. I can hopefully do that during the night. For some reason our cemetery over here just didn't seem to work or do anything. It might have just been too far out from the ring. I realised having the cemetery so close to the kind of central area might cause some issues, but we'll have to see. Frost gathering should be finished tomorrow, but we're going to encounter our first major temperature drop very, very soon indeed. So we've got comfortable, livable, chilly, cold, very cold and freezing. Of course, there's a big risk of amputations going forward, should that happen. We have 5 people being treated at the moment. Okay, well at least they're being treated. That's for sure. At least they're being treated. We might need to call an all stop to the gathering, but we've only got 2 days of coal left to work with. I think the next thing... Okay, cemetery is established. We can now put our dead to rest. Having some more hope is going to be useful, because we're going to go into a really cold period momentarily. It's going to drop by 2 levels. I guess that's probably going to be about 40 degrees. It will rise once, but we have a decision to make here. Child labour. A mother has refused to let her daughter go to work. I'm afraid she'll get injured. We could look the other way this time, but others may see it as unfair. So we can let her have a day off. The child won't work for 24 hours. Hope will rise slightly. Or we can make an exception. I'm really sorry. Nothing will change. I'm sorry, unless your child's ill, that's absolutely fine. If your child's ill or injured, that's not a problem. But otherwise, everyone has to pull their weight here. Despite how uncomfortable that might be. We have food rations for about a day. This is going to start getting tough pretty soon. I might have built things in the wrong order, that's for sure. Do we have enough for another... We can send people out, but we don't have enough for another hunter's hut, I don't think. Martin says I've got to hold on, people are depending on me. A lot of people are depending on us, Martin. What's the temperature going to drop to now? Oh, I'm not looking forward to that temperature drop. Fast going, then we definitely need to think about food next. We could get a... Well, we could get a beacon, that's for sure. That would allow us to send scouts, but that is going to cost us, not that we can do anything there at the moment. The next thing we need to think about is food, that's for sure. Food, health and shelter. I think we can get... I would love to get a hothouse, but I don't think we can do that straight away. We're going to invest in food next. I think that's the biggest priority, because we've only got food rations for about a day. 1 day, 2 hours. We probably should have enacted the soup. We should have enacted the soup thing next, because we're going to have real food issues momentarily, which I haven't really considered. Although there's raw food has just come in, that's not going to last very long. Let's just quickly go to the cookhouse. Oh, that's dropping to 40 degrees. Oh, that's bad. I don't really want to necessitate sending people out, but I imagine it's going to really have some issues. I don't want to turn on the overdrive. I want to just see how it goes with kind of these issues. Okay, frost gathering's done. Straight away we're going to go in for hunter's gear. So I think we need to grab some more food. But these guys are going to get ill a lot quicker, and that's not good at all. I want to go to housing. Yeah, see, it's cold. Can I tell these people not to stay here? I can dismantle it. I can halt the operation. I'm going to halt the operation in these outer tents purely for the sake of the cold. If these people get moderately ill, we're going to have some major issues. The cemetery's fine. And I don't mind the efficiency. I don't mind the workshop. The workshop has to keep going regardless, that's for sure. But what we cannot do... I'd rather these people are discontent from not having places to work, but I think they need to... Unfortunately, they're just going to have to suck it up, I think. It's going to be very cold out there if we send them out to work in that part of the world. There's not quite enough space. We'll put a cookhouse there, or a hunter's post there, because they're not actually going to be working there for the most part. As the extreme cold starts to set in, I think we will leave it there. This here is Frostpunk. It's an excellent game, and this will be the new series alongside L.A. Noire. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.